Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Dignity Memorial can help. Our prepaid funeral plans make sure that your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. At Dignity Memorial, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee Serio at 225-315-6329. That's 315-6329. Dignity Memorial, the peace of mind your family deserves.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello and welcome as we start the Thursday edition of the Clarence Buggs Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours in your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last opportunity we had to talk with you and yours. We start today's show as we typically do with Louisiana news and yet another development in the very tragic death of that 12-year-old darling young girl shot to death in Central recently. You are probably aware by now that it involved an alleged love triangle where two women dating the same man had an ongoing conflict between the two of them once this was discovered. Well, the latest development now concerns the woman who picked up 3 children to allegedly take to the store where they ran across the man and his new girlfriend. Allegedly, some harassment ensued. They then followed him to his home where the tragic shooting occurred. Law enforcement announcing that 33-year-old Gentria Haley was arrested for her role in the death of the 12-year-old. She was booked on charges of contributing to the delinquency of juveniles, disturbing the peace, stalking, and criminal trespass. This is such a tragic case all the way around, and when you take into account the fact that as horrific as the incident itself was, it also shows a pattern of what we are teaching our children. It's one thing for you and your ex's or current boyfriend. It's one thing for the 3 of you to get into a brawl. It's one thing, God forbid, for the women to be out there brawling. But to enlist minors in that pursuit really says a lot about us as a society and where we're heading. I can only hope that in the future, more sane minds will prevail And even if they don't, for God's sake, y'all, don't involve minor children in this. That darling 12-year-old had nothing to do with this situation. And she's now dead, and her family has to pay the price. This is speaking to us, y'all. The only question is, are we listening? In other Louisiana news, what was it? The old television series, The A-Team. Marty helped me out. Hannibal was the guy that ran the A-Team. Marty's no help. Good help is hard to find. He ain't it. But I digress. He used to have a saying on the show. I love it when a plan comes together. I guess I would put, sadly, this story in that category. Maybe 5 years ago on my radio show, I took a whole lot of heat from the listening audience when I told them that recently I went to a big box retailer and I engaged in an exercise of observation. Here's what I did. In walking around the store, I attempted to find normal-sized people. Every time I would see someone obese, I'd have to start over. So if I got up to 5, 6, 7 normal-sized people, then I see someone obese, okay, I got to start over, back at number 1. I told the audience I couldn't make it to 10 before I had to start over. I got all kinds of phone calls. One guy, a friend who works in an office and they would have the show on, so he calls up, he said, "Ooh, Clarence, these people mad at you over here." I said, "Well, what are they mad with me about?" They say you calling them fat. Well, first of all, I didn't call them anything. They are. So I caught all kinds of flack behind that. Lo and behold, this week, new survey out of the University of Chicago ranking Americans and individual states and their rates of obesity. Not overweight, mind you, obese. In Louisiana, 47.9% of us are officially classified as obese. Do y'all realize if you round that off, half of our entire state is officially obese? Now listen, y'all, I get it. My mother, God bless her, God rest her soul, was pure Creole girl. So she could dance her way around the kitchen blindfolded. Spent her entire life in food service, either in schools or churches. My mother had cast iron skillets that you could boil a cup of water in and it tastes like a meal because it was just that seasoned. So I know good food, okay? I get it. Louisiana food, there's nothing like it on the planet. But after we consume it, y'all, we gotta move. We've gotta move. Get up and walk, exercise, go bowling, bicycle, whatever. Right at 50% of us, y'all, are obese. And you know what comes along with obesity, don't you? Heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, and the list goes on and on and on. Listen, y'all, there are lots of things in life that are totally beyond our control. There are things in life that will happen no matter what. You can't do anything about it. You just can't, because it's beyond your control. English teachers, forgive me in 3, 2, 1. This ain't supposed to be one of them. All you have to do is encourage one another. If you and that neighbor are both obese, you know about what time lunch is or what time dinner is. So after you eat, 30 minutes later, hey girl, I'm about to go take a walk. Why don't you come with me? Get the kids, bring them along, and slowly but surely, you'll start to see a difference. At the end of the day, health concerns aside, this ends up bleeding to every other aspect of our lives. And God knows we have enough problems without self-inflicted wounds. First break of today's show. There is a new trend sweeping the country, and this trend is something that can affect your pocketbook and your peace of mind. Lee Serio with Dignity Memorial joins me when we come back, the newest sponsor of the Clarence Buggs Show, a great guy and a guy that can give you something you cannot put a price tag on. Peace of mind. That's next when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Buggs Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Hey, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun, too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to Roy Fletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi gang, Clarence Buggs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Buggs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of the Clarence Buggs Show. I mentioned in the last segment there is a trend sweeping across America, and it's no different here in Louisiana, particularly South Louisiana. My friend Lee Serio, pre-planning advisor with Dignity Memorial, very graciously consented to join us for a segment today. First of all, Lee, thank you for being here. What is Dignity Memorial?
Dignity Memorial is over 2,000 funeral homes and cemeteries located across the United States and Canada.
Wow, did you say 2,000?
2,000. We are based out of Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Here locally, we are Green Oaks Funeral Home and Cemetery, Ravenhorst Funeral Homes, Orso Funeral Homes, Gonzales up and down the river.
All the big boys.
Yes, sir, and Central Funeral Home. Up in Central.
In Central, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. These days, when people look at their wallets, they're seeing inflation all across the board with everything. And this is no different either. The prices are going up on everything. This is that hedge against inflation when you get a prepaid funeral plan. Am I oversimplifying that, Lee?
Not at all. You're exactly right. You're able to go in, pick out what you want, how you want your services to be, lock in today's prices. And when you lock in today's prices, you're able to pay that off over 3 years, 5 years, pay it monthly. Couple different ways. You can include life insurance in that monthly payment so that if you pass away before you pay it off, that life insurance will kick in and pay off the balance of the funeral. Or you're simply able to just lock in the prices, no interest, no additional life insurance, start paying down on it.
Wow. I like the idea. You know, a lot of people watching right now may be of the opinion, well, I served in the armed forces, I'm a veteran, all of that stuff is automatically taken care of. Not necessarily the case, correct?
That's correct. Look, if you were on active duty, died in the line of duty, yes, they would certainly take care of everything for you.
Right.
But for those veterans who are honorably discharged, their benefits would be burial in a VA National Cemetery. Local cemetery here is up in Zachary.
Right.
We have Port Hudson. That's filled up. But they built a brand new one, Louisiana National Cemetery.
Right.
I'm going to say it's one of the nicest cemeteries in Louisiana, public or private. And their benefits would include full burial for them and their spouse, which includes the grave sites, the opening and closing of the grave, the vaults that the caskets would go into, and also the headstones. And if you're not a traditional type of person and you don't want traditional burial, you want cremation, they have set up amazing niches there in a columbarium specifically for cremation burial.
Interesting. When you deal with people, and listen, y'all, I understand wholeheartedly because I've been there and done that. Talking about end of life is not something that everybody's comfortable with. But it's a reality, y'all. Unless you are so fortunate as to be here when the rapture occurs, it's a part of life. In the Black Baptist Church, we have a saying that's popular, has been so for years, that death is as much a part of life as living itself. In your experience, having people call someone they don't know personally, may have never talked to them before in life, and start to talk to them about end-of-life issues, do you start to see a change within those people as they navigate through the process?
Yes, I do. And a lot of times people will either be standoffish about it, just putting up a wall, or just be so it affects them so much emotionally they can't even talk about it.
Right.
So, we'll talk about a lot of things, but really what happens is you finally realize that we're not talking about death. We're talking about protecting the ones that you love.
Well said.
And when we go through that, they understand.
Uh-huh. You probably run across people as well, I would imagine, that are a little hesitant because they're paying for something up front, and it's something that they won't be around to know if it was carried out or not. Do you offer a guarantee that your services will go as they're planned?
We do. We have a 100% guarantee. And if something, we guarantee that what you put into place today is what we will do in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Some things, situations go beyond our control. And if something happens to where it's something we can't take care of right at that time at the service, we have actually reimbursed families money for that portion of the service that we couldn't correct.
Right.
So we guarantee that. And the big thing is, like we've talked about, we're guaranteeing that you are locking in today's prices.
Can you put a price tag, Lee, on peace of mind?
You really can't. It's invaluable. You really can't. My wife and I took care of our business a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to have to leave it to our children or potentially grandchildren because we do not know the future. We don't know who it is going to be from our family at that funeral home making those final arrangements. So peace of mind is big, yes.
Is any detail too large or too small? I chuckle because I can't begin to imagine some of the requests that you may get from people. Is any detail too big or too small?
It is not, and that's actually, I would say, a trend you've kind of mentioned was we're going to be more of a celebration of life.
Uh-huh.
Think outside the box. When I meet with folks, I tell them to think outside the box. We have a personal planning guide we're going to go through. Mm-hmm. And we're going to start listing the way you want things to go. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small.
Mm-hmm. I got to tell you guys and girls, because I mentioned that I have been there and done that. Both my late father and mother are buried at Port Hudson National Cemetery. And when the death happened, as emotional as it was, we kind of automatically kicked in to funeral mode. But had I known about something like this back then, it would have made the experience a heck of a lot easier and smoother than it went otherwise. How can folks get in touch with you? They're tired of pussyfooting around with the idea, and we finally struck a nerve, and they're saying, you know what? I need to call this guy so that I can have the peace of mind of knowing my family's going to be taken care of.
Okay. You're going to call 225-315-6329. You're going to get my wife, Gretchen. We're partners. Mm-hmm. And, something just came to me. There are a lot of folks out there who know they're going to have to be taking care of their parents. Mm-hmm. And y'all can do this beforehand. You do not have to wait. You can take care of this, get the benefits of paying it down in front beforehand and not having to come up with this huge sum of money at some point in the future when it costs a whole lot more.
Going to cost you a whole lot more. Just look around. Everything that you buy today, look at what it cost this time a year ago. And then think about what it's going to cost a year from now. 225-315-6329. Call Lee today, get the ball rolling, and give your family the peace of mind that you and they deserve. Lee, thank you, my friend, as always, not only for coming on the show, but what you do for the folks in Louisiana.
Thank you very much.
All right, bottom of the hour break. We're coming right back with more. The Thursday edition of the Clarence Buggs Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
You could be driving a... Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of the Clarence Buggs Show. There was something that happened this week that is very, very telling for the American voting public and the world, for that matter. You and I were subjected to week after week, month after month, year after year of a blatant lie. We were told ad nauseum by ABC, NBC, the BS, CNN LOL, and MSLSD that Donald J. Trump was a Russian agent and colluded with the Russians. Russia collusion. Ad nauseum. Every waking moment of the day. This week, the Durham report was released and said in no uncertain terms that there was zero, zilch, nada, one iota of any evidence of Russian collusion. Now, I know I'm old. I get that. But I have spent my entire professional life as part of an industry, an entity that at one time prided itself on moving heaven or earth to tell the American people the truth. For the record, we conservatives, we knew that this was a load of horse hockey from the beginning. We tried to tell you all this Russia collusion story is a flat-out lie. It's a joke, a very bad joke, mind you, but a joke nonetheless. And sadly, all those people pushing this lie, all they had to do was a smidgen of research. And they would have known, as we did right then, that this is a lie. So now that it has been confirmed that it was a lie, my question is, what's going to happen to all these folks that went out of their way to lie to us night after night, day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year, incessantly? What's going to happen? What sort of accountability is there going to be for all of this? People like Congressman Eric Swalwell from California, 2017, saying, quote, "There's fire. I've seen the evidence, both on the classified and the unclassified side." 2018, Congressman Swalwell, quote, "There's strong evidence of collusion. In our investigation, we saw strong evidence of Russian collusion." Would have been nice had he shown that evidence to the rest of us, but now we know there was none. Senator Richard Blumenthal, Democrat, Connecticut, in an interview on MSLSD in 2018, said the following, quote, "The evidence is pretty clear that there was collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians. There was obviously a lot of collusion." Then, of course, there's Adam Schiff. He was the cheerleader. Only thing he had missing was a real short skirt and some pom-poms. That was the only thing missing. Well, him and Dylan Mulvaney. What's going to happen to these people? And they're not alone, because politicians do what politicians do, particularly those on the left. We know what they do. They lie, they scheme, they connive. That's what they do. But when the media becomes a part of the lying, the scheming, and the conniving, like they always try to throw in the faces of conservatives, democracy starts to die. This week, the New York Times, speaking of cheerleading the story of Russian collusion, cheerleading the lie of Russian collusion, and the Washington Post, cheerleading the lie of Russian collusion, were both asked, excuse us, the Durham report comes out and says that There's no evidence of any Russian collusion. As a matter of fact, the report says that the investigation, Operation Crossfire, should have never been launched because there wasn't any evidence of any collusion. So, since you were awarded New York Times and Washington Post, since you both were given a Pulitzer, the highest award for journalism in America, are y'all gonna give those awards back? You already know the answer. I don't have to tell you what they said. You already know the answer. Well, no, we're not going to give it back. We stand by our reporting. So you stand by reporting a lie and being rewarded with the highest award in journalism in America? At some point, y'all, and we are rapidly, very rapidly getting there, the American public will have absolutely no faith at all that we have a free and independent press. The founding fathers, God bless them, were wise beyond their years. And they understood that the only way this country would survive, much less thrive, is that the people, the citizenry, our fellow Americans, would have the right to access truth and honesty. When we have two major news outlets awarded the highest honor in journalism in America, and all they did was push a lie, we're in trouble, y'all. Now more than ever, it is vitally important that you realize what these people are doing to your brain. You know, when common sense ruled the day in this country, we used to be able to tell lickety-split. Anytime you find somebody, and every time you see them, they have nothing but nasty, ugly things to say about a certain person, unless it's Adolf Hitler or Joseph Stalin. After a while, you figured out the problem's not this guy, problem's them. When you have someone who will push a lie in your face and then accept an award for lying to you, are you seriously going to believe what they say? I mean, I would ask, how stupid are you? But that's kind of self-explanatory. I don't need to ask, because if you're still reading the New York Times, still reading the Washington Post, still watching ABC News, NBC News, or C, the BS News, you're the problem. You are the problem. Now, for the record, there are times when it's okay to watch their news. Those times are before you go to reputable news sources. See what they have to say. Then find out what the truth really is. And in the future, you'll be able to look at him and go, ha ha, tried to lie to me this time. I ain't falling for that again, buddy. But if all your news diet consists of is the mainstream media, they will have you walking around as a functional idiot with no clue at all about what is actually happening in this country. The same ones that will rapidly and readily tell you, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. They're the ones behind the scenes that are actually doing just that. Well, you know, nobody, that's a conspiracy theory. Nobody wants to take your gas stove away. What did the governor of New York, what bill did she sign this week? Outlawing in new residences and apartment complexes gas stoves. Oh, but it's a conspiracy theory. But here's how they operate. California this week, same thing. It's against the law. You can no longer have new buildings with gas stoves unless you happen to be a celebrity who opens a restaurant. Then you get a special waiver. You see how they play you? Hopefully at some point you'll wake up. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and we wrap up the Thursday edition of the Clarence Buggs Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close. Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Dignity Memorial can help. Our prepaid funeral plans make sure that your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. At Dignity Memorial, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or Gretchen Serio at 225-315-6329. That's 315-6329. Dignity Memorial, for the peace of mind you deserve.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With private healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Thursday edition of the Clarence Buggs Show. I have some good news that I want to share with you before the end of the show today. Unfortunately, with the advent of the 24-hour news cycle and the like, and I get it, in news circles, the old saying is, if it bleeds, it leads. Meaning, if there's blood involved in the story, let it be the lead story. It's going to lead off the newscast. And there is something, I guess, to be said about Americans having an infatuation, for lack of a better word, with negativity. I get that. So when I run across encouraging positive stories, I try to make a mental note to acknowledge that and to share that with you as well. This spring, this year, 2 Louisianians made history. And it is yet another example for me of the greatness of my country. It's another example of how when you are blessed, when God has shown favor on you to allow you to be born and or live in the greatest country in the history of the human species, anything is possible. For example, 70-year-old Charlene Bourgeois this week became the oldest woman to ever graduate from Louisiana State University. A mother of 5 who put in 43 years working for the state of Louisiana and still works part-time, got her college degree from Louisiana State University. Additionally, at Southeastern Louisiana University, 85-year-old Kenneth Colonna became the oldest man to ever graduate from Southeastern Louisiana University. For people that have gone through the rigors that are required to obtain a college degree, you understand the discipline, the sacrifice, and everything else that's encompassed in earning a college degree. But imagine doing that at 80 plus years of age. Imagine doing that at 65 plus years of age. All of a sudden then, it really comes into focus, one, how extraordinary these 2 individuals are, and 2, at the risk of sounding redundant, just how great this country actually is. I don't know if you realize it or not, but God favored you by allowing you to be a member of this society where, regardless of where you were born, what time you were born, who your parents were, all these other extraneous factors, despite all of that, You can still do anything you want to if you possess the discipline and the wherewithal to do it. That's one of the reasons, one of many, why people will literally take their lives in their own hands to get into this country. They will swim through shark-infested waters, walk across burning sands, literally jeopardizing their own lives to become a part of what we have here. You ever notice something? And it should be obvious, but many of you, after sitting through years of indoctrination in classrooms, after years of subconsciously absorbing the outlandish things that come from the mouths of liberals, many of you have never thought about this. At our southern border, there are people by the millions looking to get in. How often and how many people do you see trying to go someplace else? Thank you, Marty. I'll let that sink in. Hundreds of thousands, millions of people trying to get into this country. When's the last time you saw a line of people trying to get out? But they will tell you, oh, them evil racists. Oh, those evil transphobes. Oh, those this and that and the other and yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. And yet, English teachers, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Ain't no line for the people trying to leave. Maybe, just maybe, that will, in some small way, let you know that what these people are telling you is not the truth. Now, some of y'all, there's no hope. The left and the mainstream media has been so successful in indoctrinating and brainwashing you that there's not really much that can be done. I mean, y'all remember, first one comes to mind, Samuel L. Jackson, noted actor, rich guy, plenty of money. If Donald Trump wins the election, I'm leaving America. Did any of y'all see a U-Haul at Samuel L. Jackson's house? I didn't think so. I didn't think so. All that noise he talked, I'm leaving. And he's still here. All these other people, well, if he wins, I'm leaving. None of them left. They're still here. There's a reason for it, y'all. There's a reason. And if you are silly enough to fall for what they're selling, well, that's on you. But the fact of the matter is, all you have to do is go back through your genealogy. Look at your family upon arrival in this country, whether you were free man or slave, whether you were immigrant or naturalized. All you have to do is take a look and see how much better off you are as a result of being an American. That's all you have to do. You don't have to have a magic looking glass. You don't have to have a crystal ball. You don't have to have any of that. All you got to do is look for yourself. I thank God every single day that he saw fit, because he could have had me born anywhere on this planet, but he blessed me to be an American. And that is why, my friends, I will fight tooth and nail every single day till God calls me home. Until he calls me to come home, I'm going to do everything within my power to ensure that what we enjoy right now continues in perpetuity for those who follow us. That's my obligation. I have no choice in the matter. What's the old adage? To whom much is given, much is expected in return. If you are blessed to be the beneficiary of these rights, these freedoms, and these liberties, you're obligated to make sure they remain intact for the children and resulting generations that come after us. Anything less than that, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but you're not a real American. If you decide it is not worth preserving these rights, freedoms, and liberties for those that come after us, you're not a real American. You're a hypocrite. You're posing. Oh, I got it, Marty. You're a trans-American. Got a new one. Keep watching for it on the internet. Coming soon to a website near you. That being said, my time's up, y'all, and I got to go. You already know the drill, don't you? This day, maybe more so than any other day in history, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we are not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there is no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you know he loves you, and you know I do too. You also know there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you soon. God bless.